Hi, welcome back to my studio. As you see, I finished the drawing stage. For this drawing stage, you see I'm using black to draw, and I use some of the grays colors to do some highlight. So I'm very happy with the drawing here, and now so my next step to do is do the green foundation. In my hand here, I have three colors, okay? And the dark one is deep blue. The color is 390, 390. And this one is a dark green. The color is 595. And another green, and the color is 585. Okay, so say it again. I'm going to repeat this again. Is a lighter green is 585, darker green is 595, and the blue color here is 390. So I will turn this his man turn to get a greenish bluish foundation, and right after this I'm going to add a flat skin tone on his skin tone. All right, so are you ready? Let's do it. To start with the green foundation, I start with the mid-tone green, and the color is 585. A very light touch. I'm filling with his highlight first, okay? What's in the highlights here? I'm focused on the highlight and in the mid-tone for this color. Very light pressure. Very light pressure. Okay, so here you can see you have kind of a shade of green, and I'm going to use the darker one for a shadow area, and this color again is 595. For skin tone, the hardest color for skin tone is people have a very dark complexion, like this man, and somebody have a very light complexion, also very hard to work with. But it's fun. It's challenging, but it's fun. You can see that I'm working on this the shadow areas, and again, the pressure is light. Okay. I push some of it in the shadow area too, because we already have the black underneath of it. So this is turning kind of a little bit of dark greenish. Then I would add just a little bit touch of the deep, beautiful blue color here, the shadow area. Remember, is African American. People have dark skin like this. They have a lot of beautiful color, especially bluish, purplish. In this case, later on, I'm definitely gonna add more purples in it. You can see that she turned kind of beautiful bluish, greenish colors in here. Oh, and again, you have to be very patient, okay? We study color and values here too. We're working on values, we're working on color at the same time. So it could be very hard for some people, okay? So I need you to be very consistent and to be very patient to work with me, okay? You can see that he turned it to a little bit greenish, bluish color here. Very, very beautiful. Come back with the lighter green on the highlights, you know. This color again. I only have three color here. It's 585. darker values here. So when you do the skin color, you want to use colors to emphasize the translucent of it, the reflection of skin tone. Don't be afraid of colors, because I know a lot of people just use browns and pink and yellows, and the color come out okay, but it doesn't come out with the realistic looking. So I like you to think about colors and don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid. Okay? See how turn is to like that. But sometime in the shadow here, it's not dark enough. Then I will bring just in black, a light touch of black to bring back the value. Just a little touch to make it a little bit darker. And later on, when I put so many values or different colors of brown, so I'm going to turn it to very beautiful colors, okay? Just a little black to make it a little bit darker here. Think about forms, shape, values. This is the black. Just add a little black to make darker values in here. You can see how patient I am. I'm looking for all the foam and the muscles in his face, and I try not to make the face look flat. So I'm working very careful with this. And actually, I have a good time. I love doing this green foundation. You see the man turn into green is fun, and later on he just turn into something else. You know, like beautiful yellow curves, and then eventually turn into a very realistic looking skin tone. But for me, that part is fun. It always just like magic to see things turn from layer to layer, layer to layer. Of course, don't forget to put some of the screen on the lip too, okay? almost there for this layer. Just a little bit more in here. Okay, that was it. We are finished with the rim foundation. Before I move on, I noticed that some of the highlights in his nose is like losing. So I just use the gray here is 706. One of the gray we used before. I just want to bring back some of the highlights again before I'm continue adding more colors. Other important for me to remember, there is a stronger highlight here. It's still the same here. Stronger here, a little bit here. Rising his lip. Just remind me that I have to control the values too. We're working on the color and the value at the same time, so a little bit tricky here, but this only good. So remind me that this is the stronger highlight, and this one, you know, so I can control the highlight and the shadow at the same time here. So make sure that I have some of his cheekbone is still strong. Forehead, dragon paw, some beautifuls in here. Okay, and have some in the cheek. Just bring back the highlight. That's what I would say. And then we're gonna add more colors in the next color on top of this green foundation. All right, so we are pretty much done with the rim foundation. Let's add the next colors on top of this. So for the next color which I'm using for on top of this green foundation, I use this kind of yellow ochre here, and the number is 615. Okay, I'm going to start on the highlight, on top on the highlight, and the transition go to the mid-tone a little bit here and there, but I'm not going to have this color on top of the shadow. Okay, it's just on top of the highlight like this. You can see in some of the mid-tone, for example, you can see some under here, took down the green a little bit, make it a little bit warmer. Fun, isn't it? You see the guy changing color from green to yellow ochre, and later on a little bit of lavender. So it's fun. But remember, this color only go on top of the highlight, and the transition to the mid-tone. Okay, put some on top of it. Flip too. Here. You can see how the color playing together now. And you see we were finished with the second layer after the green foundation. And the next color I like to use is, let me take a look at here, is 640, and the two next color I'm going to use. The first one is 640, and this lighter one is 642. I'm going to work on top of the highlight and some mid-tone and some shadow, okay? That's going to be fun. First, let's start with the 642. Put on the highlight. You can see how it turned into a skin tone right now. And this color is very beautiful. It has a little bit of lavender in it. Right. Two colors on top of each other. Let me prepare my pencil. Sometimes I forgot to sharpen my pencil, and it's not a good idea. I think if you do work, it's better if you have your pencil or really prepare, uh, like this one, right? So this one I'm gonna walk around the highlight. Very light touch in the shadow area. Very light touch. Because I want something darker on top of this. It's gonna be a dark brown colors. You can see how beautiful this color on top of the greenish bluish. It turned into a beautiful colors in here. You see? You can see this turned into a beautiful skin tone already. Before I go a little bit darker, I like to use just a very deep browns. The color is 635. I go on top of this darker brown. And I might have to add more blacks in it. It's on the shadow areas. You can see how beautiful it's coming, the beautiful colors here. I use this color here on top of the shadow area, 635. Okay, and I'm going to go back with the 640. And you can see his skin is dark in color, but it's glowing. It's glowing because there's so many color underneath of it. So how beautiful it is here. And later on I'm gonna add some kind of grayish bluish on top of the highlight. It's gonna be really beautiful. It's gonna pop out. You can see that here when I add the 635. So I lost a little bit of the value, and because that part should be a little bit darker. In this case, very simple. I use the black again to bring back the black. See the black come in. This color is 640. See that? How it's come beautifully. You can see that now. You know how to do a skin tone for African American, or you can do this for everybody have a dark complexion. Okay. And in some time is you want the skin tone even a little bit darker, then you just add back the blue, the same blue you did before. This blue is 390 back, so make it darker. You can see that. Let's continue to work. Okay, so in this case, I'm gonna add more of the 640 on top. I'll just cut a soft highlights in here. I can use this here too. And where is it touching the shadow, the darker shadow? A very light touch, because if I use a strong brusher, I'm gonna change the value, so I have to be careful with that. When you do though, the forehead has many forms. You have to think about transition, okay? Transition, transition, transition. You can see it's beautiful, it's glowing right now. So I'm gonna add a little bit back here, the 642. But later on I'm gonna add more blues in it. It's gonna be very dramatic. The reason I have more blue because his shirt is blue, and people have dark complexion. Their skin is very shiny. They reflect a lot of people. I'm sorry, a lot of color. So. This is a dark brown, 635. You know, I use the pencil until it's like nothing left, because this pencil is very, very expensive. In United States, like if you buy them, it's like over $1 a pencil. You buy them online, you buy some in the store, even more expensive. And I was teaching around the world, and some of this pencil can cost you $3 to $4 a pencil. So I don't want you to waste your money, so you have to use until it's nothing there, okay? See that? So I thought the color here is quite beautiful, but I would like to add this burgundy color is 330 on top of just the nose to make the nose a little bit warmer. Make the nose warmer here. You can see that it's a little bit warmer in the nose, and even right in here, it's interesting. It's a little bit warmer too. Okay, beautiful colors. I don't know what you see, but what I see here is just skin tone is so gorgeous. Okay, and I could just, before I go a little bit farther, I would like to test the gray bluish. This is one of my favorite color for, um, uh, people with dark complexion. And the color is 420. I just put some of this kind of red bluish colors here on the highlight. Just like a little test in here. Got a bluish, grayish color. Very light touch. Okay, and I make them a little bit stronger in here. You can see that. Yeah, back and forth, back and forth. Patient is a key. Have to be very patient, okay? No reason to rush. Later on, I'm gonna have more time to working on the details, the eyes, the lips, bring him come alive. But at this point, I'm very patient. Just in black again to make them just a little bit darker in here. So you can see that I fill up half of his face using the very similar colors I have been used before. I'm gonna repeat it for you guys. It's 642, 615, and 640. Time for me to get I want to do the eyes because I need something darker so I can control the values here. In this case, I'm gonna start with his iris first, and I'm using here is black 750. Because I have I want to finish this eye maybe just to see how the color works, and I will continue to work on this eye later on, but now I'm going to work on this iris first and see how dark it should be. It's right in the corner here. I use black versus softer brusher here. The color I'm using here is 635 dark browns. They go on top of the black. Same in the back of right in this upper lid. Use a shade of black to make the values slightly darker. You're gonna be bit about the same concept with another eyes, okay? I add a little bit of browns in his eyes here. He have black eyes, but I notice this in his scleras that there are some warm colors in it. So I'm gonna add some of this color here, maybe. Using some red color. This one is I believe is 310. Just a little bit redness. The eyes. But you can use any kind of red for this. Soft a little bit. can also add back the sick, kind of warm color here. Some gray colors. This is dark brown, 635. And I always like to add some warm color around the eyes, okay? In this case, I can use just 645. It's kind of warm enough for this. Gonna be darker here. Go back at 640. Get it a little bit warmer. You can see now his eyes is come more alive now. Go back to black and make sure that you got the shape right. So you black for that. This is a purple color. It's a 385. I'm gonna make some of the purple colors in his skin. See how it's work. I think there's some purples in it here, and you can see is how it's glowing here. It works very well with the green foundation. Again, don't be afraid of using colors. I think the part of make the skin look realistic is using a lot of colors here. I try to avoid to use just browns and red and yellow because it's in reality the skin tone is very rich. This color is 635. And I as you see that reflection light here, I would like to use blue for it because of his shirt here, so it's fun to add a little bit of blue. In the picture I see it's more gray blue, but in the drawing gonna emphasize the blue, so it make it more dramatic here. A little touch of blue gonna make it beautiful. Is it black? I use it for to try to make the value a little bit darker. In this case, I use black but a very light pressure. Make it darker, and I'm gonna use 635 on top of the black. I'm gonna use 640. Here I'm going to use a little bit of touch of gray. Actually, it's good better with a touch of blue. Okay, so now I'm like the background to be a little bit lighter in value, so I can see how dark the skin look next to it. Let's use this color here is 724, and just clean up the outside a little bit. It's not the final decision yet. I'm still working on the face because he have a very dark complexion. So it is harder if you don't work on the same value backgrounds. So I like the background lighter so I can see the skin a little bit better. You can see that next to a lighter values, the skin gonna his skin tone gonna get darker. It's just such a way for playing with the values. Later on I can add more colors in this background if I want to. But now I'm thinking about values more than color. Do a little bit around here. So now you can see that it's a little touch of blue gonna make the very different. And again, this blue here, it comes from the shirt. If you pay attention to it, I'd like to have the reflection, and I try to make it even more in the painting than in the photo reference, because I think it's very beautiful to have more colors in his skin tone here. So. Love the corners of the mouth. His beautiful smile he has here. Okay, so let's try the purples again. Again, this number is 385. I barely use this color for light skin tone, but this color is very good with dark complexion here. Blues in here. You can see that the cool play with the warm color, beautiful. A little bit darker in the hair. See how the values come out. So I think in his hair there are a little bit warm colors in it. So what color I'm using here is 640, just a little bit warmness. So let's continue to work on this side of the man. The color I'm using now is 642. Working on top where is the highlight and some of the mid-tone. Patience is the key here. You know, I'm very patient and working very slow. You know, very small stroke. So you can see now, you can just shape it, your face or the shapes are turning now. Maybe a little highlight back in here. You can see that he's come alive. This color is a very good for people with dark skin tone. It's a little bit warm, but I'm gonna add more gray on top of it. Okay, but let's finish this side first. Also get some in his lip too, okay? Don't forget the lips. The lip is just the same color with the skin tone, but just slightly warmer. We're gonna use this kind of magenta. Its color is 335. It's just like a first layer of his lips. to make it warmer. And this color play very well with the green foundation. You can turn it's got a purplish here. I want to add the same color on his cheekbone just a little bit, to warm up the skin a little bit, okay? Just a little bit here. And I come back with the 640. And come back with the 642. Lavender color. Here I'm gonna add back the 640 to make the skin tone a little bit darker. I like the skin tone a little bit darker and warmer. So see that. Again, people with dark complexion, the skin tone is very hard to achieve. Okay, very hard. Same thing with Caucasian. People with very light skin, it's very hard to achieve because it's the values. Too dark, you can see values. Too light, you can even harder to see values. So then to make them darker, I'm gonna ask the 635. Very small stroke. Because underneath of this this surface is so many layers of color already, so this color gonna unite the rest of them together. They're darker, but they have many colors in it. You can see that. also brings a list of blue. This color is 390. And the blue and the brown return to a little bit of darker and richer in color. It turned a little bit purplish. But just think this color here, the highlight here is more kind of grayish. I'm gonna use this color here, 430, because it got a grayish bluish. I'm gonna go on top of this skin tone here. You're gonna see very beautiful because it's warm and cool. They play together. And I want to, sometimes I'm going to stop it here a little bit, but I want to test how dark the skin tone. I don't have a lighter value to compare to it. So the best way is I'm going to add, you see, I need to add the hat here. I'm going to add some highlight on the hat. Because something lighter can make the color or the value next to it darker. So I think this is going to be the color of his hat, and I want to add a little bit of light so I can see how dark the skin should be. Otherwise I will get very confused because the background is dark, the skin is dark, so I don't have something else to compare with. So the hat is the key for me right now. So when I look at this and compare to the value here, it's not that far off from the photo reference. So this is a good thing. Just a little bit for me to, make sure that I get the right value. So So now I can see that value is very good. So I'm going to keep the like that for now. Then I'm going to add more of this color 430 on the highlight. Dark skinned people have beautiful highlight because the highlight usually bluish, purplish. back with the 640. Go on top of the 642 too. Make the value darker, because this part is not as shining at his cheekbone here, so make it darker. This color here, the beautiful reflection here. This is 635 again, the darker brown. I'm gonna go for detail of the lips, his lip later, but now I'm working from the shadow and form here first. And I need, because it's not dark enough, I might have to add a little bit blue first, and I might have to add some black on this side of his chin, but first just use some blue. I'd like to add more blues in here because of his shirt. Blues in it, so it related to his skin tone. I think it's very beautiful. Some more blues in the shadow area. So. Now I can get back a little bit of the shadow here. This is black. A little bit black in his lips too. Yes, some of this maroon color here, maroon. This color is 330. Should be a little bit in here too. So I like to add a little bit more of the colors of the backgrounds here before I go. I'm just, because the skin tone here is very challenging. If I just focus on it, I don't see all the color. Don't know how to work them together. So in this case, it's good to control the colors. I would like to add a little bit warmer colors, like the IB colors 605 on the gray background. Add a little bit more colors in it. It's just a little bit warmer. And later on I might use soft pastel for this if I think it's right. And I look for his color of his shirt here. I want something blue so I can see how it reacts to the skin tone. I think that's a good blue color here. Just put a little bit of blue here so I see how it's reacted. I'm not gonna work on the whole shirt right now, but I just want to play with the color and see how it's worked together. You know, blue shirt, and then I add the same color on the reflection. You see how different it is? Could it all play together? There's a reflection on his skin tone. A little bit of blue here, and I'm gonna have to spend more time and work on the detail, but now just a little bit of the color would help me control the color better. Same thing with here, just I'm gonna take off that thing. I think the backpack he's wearing, I think they're gonna make too busy. I'm gonna make just a simple blue shirt now.